Hey, this is Cindy. I want to show you today how I make my pork and sauerkraut and mashed potato dinner. It's absolutely delicious. It's a meal that I like to cook because it reminds me of when I was a little girl. My mom used to make this and it's just a wonderful memory. So pork, sauerkraut, and mashed potatoes. The pork and sauerkraut is going to be in the crock pot all day. So this is one of the meals you're going to throw in the crock pot in the morning. You come home at night after you've worked all day. You just make your mashed potatoes and whatever other side you'd like, and dinner's ready. It's really nice and easy. Now I can tell you, I like to cook, but I do not like to cook for a long time. I don't like to slave over a hot stove for hours. So I like to make meals that don't take a lot of ingredients and that I can put together quickly and that will last many, many, many meals. So this recipe actually only calls for 4 items. We have your pork roast, a whole onion cut up, 1 whole apple cut up, and 2 cans of sauerkraut. Now this just happens to be Silver Floss brand. Probably any brand would be okay, but this is the kind of brand my mom always bought. So that's all that it takes is these 4 ingredients. Now I can tell you that this apple is not going to make this meal taste like apples at all. In fact, you won't even know they were in there unless I told you that's what it was. So I'm going to get this skillet heated up because we're actually going to sear the pork roast on all sides before we put it in the crock pot. We're going to dump everything else together, and that's going to be it for this morning. So I've got my cast iron skillet. I love to cook with cast iron. And what you want to make sure is when and all the labels said on this was pork roast. You want to make sure that you take it out of the wrapper, rinse it off really good, and then pat it dry so that you don't have a lot of water on it, because when we put it in the skillet, it's going to, we don't want it to splatter. So you want it as dry as possible. And you can use a pronged fork. It's okay if you pierce the meat. We want all those juices to come out in the sauerkraut. It's just, that's what makes it taste so good. So once your pan is hot, you want to gently lay this in your pan, and it's gonna sear and splatter, but it's okay. Just do it nice and gently. And while that's sitting in there, all you want to do is dump your whole can of sauerkraut, including the water, the juice in it. You don't have to pour that off. Just dump the whole can. Dump the whole can, 2 cans in the bowl. Keep an eye on your roast here. You can start to see that that's getting white, a little brownish on that side. That's what you want to do. Might have to hold it up there a little bit. And then, like I said, you go ahead and put your apple in here. I did not peel this apple, and like a lot of the vitamins are in the peels, what I've heard. And when I buy apples, I only buy organic because I don't like the pesticides and chemicals in apples in a regular store. Always buy organic apples. So this is organic apple. And this is just a regular 1 whole onion. Go ahead and turn this again. Get that really nice and browned on each side. And just stir this up. That's all you got to do. And this will be ready to go on top of the pork. You want to put your meat in the bottom of your crock pot so that it's closest to the heat so that it'll cook really thoroughly. So we're not going to put the sauerkraut in there yet until we get the meat into the crock pot. Don't forget to sear the ends of your meat, of your pork roast. This helps so much to have a crock pot dinner ready to go as soon as you walk in the door in the evening, because there's just nothing worse than hearing those dreaded 3 words, "What's for dinner?" You can just tell them, whatever's in the crock pot, honey. So I got lots of meals that I'm going to be sharing with you to help you get dinner ready very quickly in the morning, 5, 10, 15 minutes at the most, and you've done most of your prep work. It's already cooked when you get home in the evening. I just love those types of meals. I'm going to sear this other side just a little bit more. The only other thing you want to do maybe in the morning before you go to work to prepare this meal is to go ahead and cut, if you want mashed potatoes is delicious with it. You got to have mashed potatoes because you're going to put that juice over it. To go ahead and cut up your potatoes, put them in your pot of water, have them ready on the stove to turn on when you come in the evening, but just don't turn them on yet. So I think this is about ready to go. And I'm just going to bring it over, put it in, like I said, the bottom of the crock pot. We're going to just dump it all in. And just kind of spread that around there. I don't put salt or pepper in here yet. Now, if you want to, I would recommend that you try it first before you salt it because it is very tangy just because it is sauerkraut. Go ahead and plug that in. Put your lid on it. Go about your day, and we'll come back later and finish the meal. Okay, we're back, and it has been about close to 8.5 hours since we turned on the crock pot with our pork roast and sauerkraut in it. And I gotta tell you, it smells wonderful in here. It is literally falling apart, and that's what you want. You could see how earlier how firm the pork roast was, and now I just barely get the fork in there, and you see how that's just pulling apart. That's how you want it. And all of the pork roast and sauerkraut flavors, the onion and the apple is all mixed in there. But like I said, you can't taste the apple, so don't be concerned about that. I went ahead and made my mashed potatoes. And I want to tell you, I don't know anybody else that does this, but I also do not peel my potatoes for mashed potatoes. Same thing with the apple is the vitamins are in the peel. A lot of the vitamins are in the peel, so I do not take the time to peel them, and that's going to save you lots of time there. So you can see, I don't know if you can see the little peelings. I love the texture of that. It's really, really good. So I've got creamy potatoes, pork and sauerkraut's ready. I also had some fresh corn on the cob. I went ahead and cooked that up. Now, if you have a large family, you're cooking for a lot of people, go ahead and cook more side items. Go ahead and make some steamed broccoli or a pot of green beans or macaroni and cheese or all of it. Just make a lot of it, that way it really, really goes far. So all I do here is, I'm gonna dip this up in just a second. But what you want to do is after about 2 or 3 days of eating it and the family's like, oh Mom, I need something else to eat, go ahead and take you a freezer Ziploc bag, put all of the pork and sauerkraut in the freezer bag, write on there what it is and the date you put it in your freezer, and that way you have it for a couple weeks down the road. They're okay to have it again. Bring it out, thaw it out, heat it up, you're ready to go. You make a couple side items and it doesn't take you very long. Anyway, you can also have a salad. Now, Mike and myself have a big salad every night. We go ahead and eat that, and then we come back and enjoy a little bit more of a meal. That way it lasts longer and we get lots of vegetables in our system. So all I do is you can dip this up any way you like. I'll just have a nice portion of mashed potatoes and go ahead and see how that meat is just pulling apart there? It looks like pulled pork. Basically what it is. Very juicy. And then I like to put that on the side. Let me get a different spoon here. I love a big portion of the sauerkraut. If you want to just put it on top of your potatoes, you can do that. However you like it, you can do that. And then that juice, like I said, on your potatoes is what is so good. All this flavor together. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope I've helped you out with your what's for dinner dilemma. If you like this, please like it or comment below. I love all your comments. Let me know if you've cooked with sauerkraut before or some of your recipes, what you enjoy. But have dinner with your family. It will really make some long-lasting memories for a lifetime. See you soon.